Air freshener is the title of this podcast. One of the things that I have done since I was a little kid is I have uh, realized and known that I can learn from anyone. And so I ask a lot of open questions uh, so that I can learn and grow. And one of the benefits of that is building relationships that are incredibly rewarding and enriching for me personally. I learned a lot from other people's experiences. And one of our ToBeRe members, name is Pat, works for a company that offers supplies for businesses from toilet paper to paper towels to air fresheners and everything in between that customers maybe take for granted that really are help run a good business. And most recently, I told Pat that, hey, listen, I really want to bring in an air freshener for our studio, our exercise studio. And when we first moved in, we put in some rubber mats that are used for horse stalls. And they have that really rubbery smell, and it took a few years for that to get out. And I had researched about what I could do to try to remove the smell. And, they sold these little charcoal bags that you can hang around a space and they will absorb the odor. And they did a decent job, but it wasn't great. And so Pat said, hey, I have these air fresheners that I offer to my clients. So he came and set them up, and it smelled great throughout the entire studio. We put them into the two restrooms and in the open space, and they're fantastic. A few weeks ago, one of the air fresheners was not emitting this wonderful fragrance anymore. And I asked Pat about it, and Pat said, hey, I left some supplies in one of the bathrooms. I can go change it out right now. So he went to go and change out the air freshener, and he noticed that in their battery operated, like every so often they will emit the scent. And so apparently one of the batteries had died. And so he went to go change it out. And he opened the packet that includes the air freshener filter itself, but also includes a battery with it. I was like, the battery's included? He's like, yeah, we got to make it easy for customers. And so he wanted to tell me this story about, if you run a business. So he's been really successful of helping his company see how these products that are not essential, they're extras, can really make a difference with their customers. And that it costs the company very little to go this extra mile or this little mile for to demonstrate unreasonable hospitality. So he tells me the story about if you go to a business, what you'll notice is that businesses that have restrooms that you cannot run a business without toilet paper. You can't do it. Now, can you run a business without air freshener? The answer is yes, you can. With the toilet paper, the people that are purchasing these supplies for their company, with that, they are really focused on the things that they have to do. And one thing they have to do is they have to buy toilet paper for the company. Now, using an air freshener is optional. That's not something that they have to do. So if you want them to use it, you need to make it easier for them to do it. And so Pat thought about what would make it even easier is in these little air freshener refill packets to include a battery. And so the battery makes it easy for them to do. It's one small thing that you can do that really makes a difference for them, their customers, and your bottom line. Since doing these little things, what Pat has noticed is the customers ask for it more often because it's really simple to do. They don't have to take an extra step of getting a battery. The customers often comment about how great it smells in the space. And then lastly, they're selling a product that they normally wouldn't sell just by including a 5-cent battery into the little packet. And so I thought of this in terms of how I want to experience life and what I can do that hopefully will make a difference, that I don't have to do, but were I to do it, it would make a difference to everyone I come in contact with, and it'll make a difference for me. And the thing I think about is when it comes to kindness. Kindness is one of those things that you don't have to be kind, but it certainly makes a difference in your relationships with the people you know and the people you don't know. And I try to sprinkle kindness with both. They are better off when I do that. The same is true with the effect on my life of acceptance, gratitude, and this daily practice that I do. Now, they aren't essential for me to have a good experience in life, but they certainly do make a difference. I can totally live life without being kind, without accepting the reality of the situation, without practicing gratitude. I can continue to live my life as if none of those things made a bit of difference. But having the exercise and practicing those on a regular basis, I know that they do. So hopefully this little story will help you, will make you think about how when you walk in spaces, you'll notice the little things that make life just a little bit better. And in regards to your own life, hopefully you'll notice the kindness, the acceptance, the exercise of compassion, of being a servant to everything around you, including the moment that's unfolding in front of you. How do you make it better? How do you bless the people that are around you with both your positive thoughts, your words, and your actions that you'll think about, like, I can move through life without doing those things, but moving through life with them, exercising them, performing them makes life a whole lot better.